new guitar. Thanks to Glarry Music for the instrument. I haven't seen the guitar yet, but I have taken out the sellotape that was wrapping it. So let's unbox live. Ooh, oh cool, comes with a strap. All right. Okay, give me a second whilst I take out all the wrapping. Here it is. Looks pretty neat. So I'm going to be reviewing this and answering the question of the video. Black metal equals budget gear? Let's find out. The new guitar, the Glarry GST-E, and what Glarry are a budget guitar manufacturer, but this is actually quite nice for the price. Like it's about 80 quid online, and it comes with a case, a lead, bits for a beginner guitarist, but the guitar itself is quite nice. Like since the unboxing, I've had to play around with this. It's been about 24 hours since I filmed the original unboxing, so I really spent the time to get to know the guitar. In terms of sound, it does the job quite nicely. Basswood body, rosewood fingerboard, and a maple neck, and two humbuckers. I think these are just their own in-brand humbuckers, or just like a generic set of humbucker pickups, you know, volume and a tone control, and a three-way selector switch. In regards to its playing, it does feel like a budget guitar, but that's not always a bad thing, because it kind of takes you back to when you were first starting out a guitar and you didn't really know much, and you know, for the chords and playing some of the scales, it does the job just fine. You know, if you are a more experienced guitarist, then you're probably not going to buy this unless you probably want a project guitar, in which this is a very, very good platform. Whether you want to kind of use this and buy it is obviously up to you, and depending on what you want to use it for. I would say this is a really good base for a project guitar. You know, if I were to change a couple things, I'll probably try and find like a Fender neck that will fit on here with 22 frets, because you know, quite a lot of Fenders don't have 22 frets. And I would change the pickups probably to a good set of passives. I haven't really made my mind up on that yet. When it comes to what I don't like about the guitar, the shape. I tried to get a V sent in to me from Glarry, but I don't think they have any. There's this weird kind of vibration here, you know, in the back chamber where the springs are. That can be easily solved with just a couple hairbands you time around the back of the springs, and it makes the vibrations go away, and it dampens the sound. And I'd like to at some point change the strings to a good set of D'Addarios, but otherwise this is a pretty solid guitar. For the price range, you know, I can't really complain at all, and I think for the overall package, it's priced really nicely as well. The guitar looks really cool. Quite like the lightning bolt graphic. It reminds me of the Dean Cowboys from Hell MLs. But now onto the main kind of crux of the video. Does black metal equal budget gear? I think we're at a point now where the home guitarist or the home engineer can create a really good quality sound. You know, obviously it won't be the same as going to a big studio and getting the big studio sound, you know, with their equipment and their acoustically treated rooms and stuff. But I think it's got to the point now where there is kind of no excuse for black metal in general to to sound bad or underproduced. Like for example, with this guitar, right? You run it through an angle. You know, you can get a really, really nice black metal sound through it. You know, if you're not into the kind of heavy, chuggy stuff, this guitar doesn't quite cut it as well as a Dean with active pickups or just a Dean with their own brand pickups. It doesn't have that really aggressive searing chug. But for the kind of tremolo picked black metal chords and general black metal playing, this guitar does the job alright, you know. I mean, it all depends on execution really, because I could strum really softly, and obviously that's not going to sound as aggressive. Now, if you have the setup at home where you can mic up a cab, you can get a pretty cool guitar tone with your own gear. And even nowadays there's plugins, drum machines that all sound, you know, obviously they're never going to sound like actual amps or actual drum kits, but you can get very, very, very close, and you can get some really, really cool sounds out of them. Amped Roots plugin, which is free, that sounds really cool. And there's plenty more that you can use. I know everyone's talking about that new Gojira plugin, and that's sounding really, really cool. I don't think there is any more excuse now for anyone to have an underproduced black metal CD or songs. Of course, back in the day it was kind of use what you got, and it's kind of like that now, but what we have is so much better. Almost everything could be made to sound very professional, and if you can't do it yourself, you can always find someone who can make a really strong and very well produced sounding song or EP or album. And if you do wish it was the 90s, you can still use a speaker that you can just plug into, and a maxed out distortion pedal. Like, this is how I got my Philosophem guitar tone, and this just sounds awful. It's great. Yeah, I think the batteries or something are dying in this now. I haven't used it since the video. I think that just explains quite a lot lately with what's happened in the past and where we've come now. I think we should try and dispel the myth that black metal is just recorded with toasters.